Here are question and answer from Ode to Autumn written by John Keats. First question is complete these sentences. It means you have to fill in the blank. It's a type of fill in the blanks. The two close bosom friends are. Do you remember who are the close bosom friends? Autumn and maturing sun. The season is conspiring with. Autumn is conspiring with the sun. You know it very well. So the sun is the right answer. Summer has clammy cells. Clammy cells, cells means hives, means honeycomb. It means cells means honeycomb. Honeycomb. Bees think that warm days will never cease. What bees think? They think the summer will never end, will never cease. The last oozing is that of apple wine. Dropping drop by drop. So oozing means the oozing, falling drop by drop. So oozing, so it oozes, the last oozing is that of apple wine. Second question is, how do the season of mist and sun conspire? Means the question is asking about what the season of mist, what autumn do. So answer is, the reason of mist and the sun make a plan. So what they do? They make a plan, and what planning for what? Plan to load trees with lots of fruits and to fill sweetness to the core of the fruits. So this is the plan. This is what the both conspire. Therefore, they conspire together. Now question number 4. In what way has the summer helped the bees? Means how summer helped the bees. Bees think. Here is 2 times written bees. I think one is cut. Bees think that summer will never cease. What they think? Summer will never end. Summer will never be over. The summer has helped the Now question number 4. In what way has the summer helped the bees? Means how summer has helped the bees. Bees think. What they think? That summer will never cease, never end, never be over. They think. Who think? Bees think. The summer has helped them to produce honey in abundance. So what they think? Summer has helped them. Them, who are them? Here, the bees. Bees help them to produce honey in abundance. In lot of means summer help to produce lots of honey. Therefore, the season has helped them. In the later lines, the speaker says that autumn is found sleeping on a half-ribbed furrow. What has induced in to sleep? So what has caused autumn to sleep? This is the question. Why she got to sleep? It was a field of poppies. Do you remember? The field was of poppies. Field of poppies. Poppies are those red flowers from which opium and other drugs are made. You know the poppies, it's a plant and it has a red flower, and from which toxic actually that is a toxic plant. And you know opium, opium means here is 2 times P, 1 cut it, only one opium. The fume, fume means smell of poppies has induced her to sleep. So a smell of poppies induced her to sleep, forced her to sleep. Now section C, think and answer. So actually this section is for you. You should have to do it by yourself, but I am here giving you a sample answer. This is not the only answer. The answer can be, means whatever I give you, these answers are only sample. You can write your own answer in your words. I would like you to write in your words. This is my request, and I would prefer. So you just take it as a sample answer. The theme of Ode to Autumn is the fleeting quality of nature. Do you agree? Give reason. So if you agree that the theme of autumn is fleeting quality of nature, so if you agree, you have to give a reason. Answer is yes, I do agree. The theme of John Keats' poem to autumn is the fleeting quality of nature. So what is a fleeting? Fleeting means lasting for a very short time. Fleeting means lasting for a very short time, very short period. The theme here is missing. The theme of the ode is change. What is the theme? It is a change, which is natural and beautiful. Here age is missing. Which is natural and beautiful. So changing is a natural phenomena, and changing is almost every time is beautiful. There is a saying, time and tides waits for none. Time and tide waits for none. So time never stops. It continues going and going. The poet says that time passes by. You know, time never stops. It always keeps going and going. But this change, the new change, usually poses, means have something new, and the new is better than what came before in the past. So better than the past. Okay, better than in the past means everything whatever new come is better than what happened earlier. So this is the answer of question number C1. Now question number 2, give examples of imagery from the poem. You know, imagery is a poetic device, it's a literary device. You are actually in 8th class. When you go to in 9th class and 10th class, you will know about it in detail. So in short, you know it. Imagery is an poetic device. It's like an ornament. An imagery is a poetic device. It is what? A poetic device. It connects the reader with poet's feelings and emotion. So with visual imagery, a poet connects with his readers, and it helps an imagery helps it to connect with the poet's feelings and emotions, with writer's feelings and emotions. That's why poets or writer use imagery. Keats' imagery evokes almost all 4 senses. Evokes, just provokes it. Kids imagery evokes almost all four senses. You know, we have five senses. So out of five, only four senses are evoked by kids imagery. And for example, like sight, hearing, smell, and taste. These are the four senses. For example, here are some examples given in the poem, which are the example of imagery. In the as you have read all the three stanzas and you have go through these words like thatched eyes, mossed cottage trees, the granary floor, plump the hazel shells, full grown lambs, a woman in the hair soft lifted, fume of puppies, sweet kernel, clammy sails, winnowing winds. So actually these all are imagined by the poet by Keats, by John Keats. So this is the imagery he has imagined, and this imagery is very different. Means no one had ever thought about such kind of imagery before John Keats about autumn. So this is the second answer of the question. Now one last question is, seasons are the cycle of life. How does the given statement relate to human existence? Share your thoughts with the class. So actually this I have not done this. I have left it for you. You think about it, how it relate to the life of human beings, right? Cycle of life. You know, there is also a cycle of life, as Shakespeare divided the cycle of life in four stages, right? But here Keats has divided the cycle of life into three, right? So you have to know it, you have collect it, you must have something to collect such information, such answer. If you can't do it, let me know, then I will do it. But this is for you a homework to do it. And actually this is C section is not for answering. Actually this is for the discussion in your classroom with your friends, with your colleagues, with classmates. So you have to share your own thought, how you think, what you think, what is the deep meaning of the poem given by the John Keats. So this is all over. This is all over the answer. Now I hope you enjoyed it, and if you enjoyed the video, I would like to suggest that subscribe the channel, share it, like it, and comment. Thank you so much.